Boy, you know, I sure am happy the Leafs won. You sure are happy the Leafs won? That's how you started the video? No, it's not good. Kind of weak. It's just kind of bland. Kind of vanilla. Kind of vanilla. I had something I was gonna say, but I feel like we already talked about it. Garnet Hathaway spit on a guy? That was it. We did. It's still true. Oh, he fully spit on a dude. He got suspended for it. That's right. Like, he lost thousands of dollars because he spit on a guy. I've never thought of it that way. That's pretty good. Hey, start the video. Let's go! Good. We all feel good. Stop! Never gets rusty!
What am I doing?
Into my kitchen! Producer Drew, can you fix all this? And when it comes to the Toronto Maple Leafs, you can crumple, yeet! Saw that going differently. With you wherever you are, welcome to LFR. Victory puppies! I don't know why you're so far back this time. Do you think you can? We've had a really shaky run of it. Okay, I'm gonna granny style this, okay? Hey! Whoa, that was pretty good! That spun and everything. Sheesh! Leafs win! 6-2 over the Philadelphia Flyers, in which the Philadelphia Flyers roster, in solidarity with John Tortorella, refused to take the ice after he refused to leave it. Dude, I'm sorry, Flyers fans, because that was awesome. Like, I mean, you yelled at Wes McCauley. I have no choice but to stand. But that was exactly the type of win I was hoping for today, like on Thursday, all the way back to Saturday. Because what did we talk about? It's been a while since I've seen you. Well, actually, it hasn't been. We talked about Bobby McMahon re-signing. Bobby McMahon re-signed! Hooray! The last time I did an LFR was Saturday night. And the Leafs picked up a win against the Montreal Canadiens. Always good. Always great. Don't care if the Leafs are bad and the Habs are good. Don't care if the Habs are bad and the Leafs are good. Did I do that right? I think I did that right. I have a newborn. That's going to be my excuse for everything for at least the next 4 months. March, April, May, June. I should come out of it sometime around the parade. But Saturday night, they beat the Habs. Not exactly convincing, but they beat them. And a lot of people were like, all right, 2 points is 2 points, but I don't know about how they're playing right now. And also Mitch Marner is hurt. And what are we doing? But I thought, yeah, but you know what? They're tired, and I hate that as an excuse, but it's sometimes pretty valid. Like the excuse that, oh, the flu bug is going around the room. Sheldon Keefe hates that, and we know this. Not because he said, oh yeah, it's going around the room again several times this season, but I think it was last season or the season before. He's like, it's Ontario. It's the winter in Ontario. People get sick. But combined with that, the stress of the trade deadline, the injury bug, the illness bug, and the 5 games in 8 days with a big old bunch of travel, yeah, they looked pretty tired. So you take the 2 points out of Montreal and run, but ideally heading into the playoffs, you start playing better. All right, well, if all those things have really caught up with the Leafs, then they're gonna look like they were fired out of a cannon come Thursday after they have 4 days off. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and they scored 2 minutes in and it was nasty! Bertuzzi playing keep away, nice little hook pass back to Nylander. Nylander goes to the point with the puck, but who's there? Travis Konechny. Get Travis Konechny! He just absorbs absolutely everyone, makes a pass to Timothy Liljegren. Sight! Liljegren was so wide open that Austin Matthews just sort of went, you should see him come out like, don't mind if I do. Like, look at this. Look at the puck is practically on Liljegren's stick. And Matthews is like, yeah, but I'm me. Takes it, fires it on, and Tyler Bertuzzi tips it perfectly off the bar, and in 2 minutes and 1 second into the game, the Leafs are up 1-0, and that was filth. Tyler Bertuzzi continues to be the Toronto Maple Leafs' best trade deadline acquisition this year. The Leafs continue to hold on to that lead, and halfway through the first period, offensive zone draw. Bit of a weird play. Puck goes off of Connor Dewar's shin, but he meant to. Pontus Holmberg picks it up like, sure. Rips it. What a snipe from Pontus. I had no air left for that. Pontus! That was better. Connor Dewar picks up his first point as a Leaf. The passion haver who grew up loving the Leafs gets his first point, never touches his stick, doesn't matter. 2-0 Leaf lead. Leafs dominating. They have the puck again. Matthews rips it. Bertuzzi, no look, bat out of the air, and in sexiest goal he scored this season. And it's, they call it back for a hand pass, and like, I guess, like, here's what happens. Matthews gets drilled, and that's fine. He's on the ice, and, like, can I show you how hard he touched the puck? Can I show you? Like, just to emphasize what kind of impact he had on the play. Look at this. This is Austin Matthews right here. Like, he did that. And after he touches the puck with his glove, Tyler Bertuzzi takes it, and then the whole play commences where the Leafs proceed to run the Flyers show. Is that a hand pass by the rule book? Yes. In fairness to the officials involved, yes. Is it a hand pass according to the English language? No! Like, it didn't give the Leafs an unfair advantage on this play. Bertuzzi was getting that puck anyway, had Matthews not moved it the centimeter and a half that he did. Steve, couldn't you have just said an inch? If I meant an inch, I would have said an inch! I don't care what team Austin Matthews plays for, the metric system won tonight! So they call it back, and I guess, but phooey, but I guess. But despite being robbed of a goal, Bertuzzi would not be denied an assist, because he gets the puck from Ilya Samsonov, Timothy Liljegren shoots a knuckler, and oh no. He fired a changeup in there on Urson, who has done an admirable job as a rookie goalie for the Flyers, but that one was yuck. Bertuzzi's 13th, Holmberg's 4th, and Liljegren's 3rd give the Leafs a 3-0 lead after one could have been 4. And Connor Dewar was not the only person to get a first in this one. Dewar had his first point as a Leaf. Samsonov had his first point of the season with an assist on that Liljegren goal. I mean, that's pretty fantastic. Not a bad way to end a period where you thought you were losing a defenseman because Ilya Lyubushkin went down funny and he's like clutching his back and like, dude, I don't know, I just had a birthday in my 30s. Like, I know what that looks like. I did not think he was returning to that game. And then he did! And then he left again. But then he came back again! I thought his nickname was the Russian Bear, not the Russian Crash Test Dummy. It's okay. He's okay. Someone who was not okay, Calle Jarnkrok. He fell awkwardly into the boards. And all we have to go on right now is this really cryptic, weird, not helpful quote from Sheldon Keefe. Sheldon Keefe says Calle Jarnkrok is probably going to miss some time and they won't know the full extent of it until they get home. Ruled out the shoulder and head as injuries. Didn't say anything else. Thanks. So it's not the shoulder, it's not the head. All right. That means something else. And also sometime. What is sometime? You know what's sometime? 5 years. You know what's sometime? The amount of time it takes to say sometime. One is long, the other's short. Which is it? Sometime is not helpful. We gotta stop asking coaches about injuries because they just sound like me when I did the tour at the Toronto Zoo. Like, I know the script and I'm okay. If you ask me like basic questions, like I got you. I can answer things. Did you know a giraffe is 6 meters tall? A metric system again, they are. Their heart is the same size as a basketball. That's not the metric system at all, but like you can picture what a basketball looks like and you go, wow. If you start asking me stuff like, hey, what are the migration habits of the Indian rhino? Like, okay, you're starting to ask things that are a little intermediate for me and I'm out of my depth. But I'm standing here in uniform that says the Toronto Zoo and I can't tell you I don't know. I think I'm supposed to, but it makes the zoo look bad, so I gotta make something up. And I say like, oh, did you know their horn is made of the same stuff as our hair and fingernails? And hope that distracts you long enough that you forget the initial question? That's what every NHL coach sounds like when they're describing a player's injury. Hey, is Calle Jarnkrok okay? Well, he's gonna miss some time, but it's not his head and it's not his shoulder. Okay, so he's gonna be back sometime between next game and next season. He doesn't have a head or shoulder injury, which by the way, those things are not the same. Listen, the key part of that quote is this. Sheldon Keefe says Calle Jarnkrok is probably going to miss some time, and they won't know the full extent of it until they get home. Which means, I don't know, let's let him see a doctor first, which should just be his answer from now on. Anyway, second period. That thing I said about Rhino Horn is true, by the way. At least that's what the script said. I don't know, I didn't go to school for that, but I had the green shirt. Early in the second period, the Leafs do not start the second period as good as they started the first. Jake McCabe takes a tripping penalty on Ryan Poehling. Hey, remember when he was that guy who scored a hat trick in his first game against the Leafs in the last game of the season? That was weird. He's on the Flyers now. And on that power play, Owen Tippett snaps it home. Also on the Flyers now. Like, really on the Flyers now. Like, multi-million-dollar a year, 24-goal guy. And that is, unfortunately, the extent of the scoring, at very least, in the second period. And, like, it's okay. The Leafs still have a 2-goal lead heading into the third. But there was a time where it looked like they were going to be up, like, 4-0. It looked like they were going to run the Flyers out of their own building. And they head into this intermission, and I'm like, oh, it's a game. Some of you might call that more entertaining. I call it stressful! And about 5 minutes into the third, the Leafs said, don't you worry. With Calle Jarnkrok out, Sheldon Keefe came up with the genius idea of putting Pontus Holmberg with Austin Matthews like he has done before this season. I obviously don't love it as a permanent thing. I just think the Leafs have better options to play up there. Bertuzzi, now that he's emerged, and Matthew Nyes. But hot darn, Pontus Holmberg and Austin Matthews have some offensive chemistry. Holmberg finds a streaking Matthews in by himself, and he was like me at the buffet at Mandarin when there's no line. Eyes wide open, I'm eating. Maybe zoom in when I say I'm eating. And he did! He ripped home an Austin Matthews shot because he's Austin Matthews. His 55th of the season. Yuck. That was 4:45 into the third. 4:53 into the third, David Kampf, Max Domi, William Nylander. That's a list of 3 names that shouldn't play together usually, but it's not usually, is it? It's tonight. And Willie scores! He even looks surprised, like, holy crap! Almost as if to say, how much time was that? 8 seconds, Bill! It was 8 seconds! May I call you Bill? Austin Matthews' 55th goal of the season and William Nylander's 35th. They combined for 90 goals on the season. Holy moly! And the Leafs are all of a sudden up 5-1. And to just give you an idea of how out of control this game got for the Philadelphia Flyers, this is real. This is a clip from gameplay that I'm about to show you. It almost looks like it's AI, because you look at this and you go, okay, that's what the Leafs jerseys look like. That's what the Flyers jerseys look like. It looks like they're in an arena full of fans. And oh, wait, the artificial intelligence forgot to insert sticks into 3 of the Flyers' hands. Mike Johnson said it on the broadcast, and I'm going to echo it. I've never seen that. I have never seen that in my entire life. Over 3 decades of watching hockey, never, not once. I've seen one player lose their stick. Obviously, we've all seen that. That happens all the time. I've seen 2. And you go, uh-oh, that team's in a pickle. 3 dudes didn't on the same team. 3 dudes on the same team didn't have a stick in their hands. Matthew Knies tucks it home, and he looked like relieved because nobody wants to be the dude who didn't score when the other team was missing 3 sticks. And at that point, the game's over. Garnet Hathaway and Max Domi get tossed late because Hathaway was greasy all night. Not necessarily dirty greasy, like the sort of player I would love to have on my team greasy, but, you know, he was a problem. So at that point, the game is over. Except for Cam York, like, basically bopped Matthew Knies in the face, and you can't do that. And he goes, oh, the game's over. Well, if the game's over, why'd you punch the guy in the face? So it's a Leafs power play. And with that, Sheldon Keefe sends out the top unit. And Rocky Thompson, who you might remember from Toronto Roadrunners fame. Back before the Toronto Marlies, Toronto had the Toronto Roadrunners. It was the Edmonton Oilers farm team. Rocky Thompson played for the Toronto Roadrunners, and I know that because I bought the program when I was there with my uncle. He liked him because his name was also Rocky, reminder, half Italian. Rocky Thompson's like, and he's angry, and he's looking at Sheldon Keefe like, how dare you put out the first unit? Like, they were out there for a little bit, and they were taking shots and everything, and, hey, oh, why you trying? It's a 6-1 game. Then Keefe sends the 4th line out there, and Tyson Forster scores a shorthanded goal. And no, I don't like that. 1, leave them out there. Leave the top unit out there, always. To the Toronto Maple Leafs, what are you afraid of? They're not gonna like you? That ship sailed decades ago. Also, rule idea. If you complain about another team putting out their top guys because, hey man, it's a blowout, game's over. Game's done. You lose. You lose. Not only do you not win the game, you should get docked a point in the standings. There's a price for our mercy. And I want to start with this question because I thought it was a good one and I have an answer. Ryan Reeves on the power play more often? Yes, but not in the way that you think. Ryan Reeves was on the power play there because Sheldon Keefe just sent out the 4th line. What it should have been is Matthews, Nylander, Riley, Tavares, Reeves. Just park him net front and rip the thing from all angles. You don't want us to embarrass you? Tell you what, here's a Ryan Reeves power play goal for you. How about that? Was this the most normal win of the season? Well, given the rant I just had, no. Also, no, this was not normal at all. Ilya Samsonov had an assist. They had a goal called back because Bertuzzi batted it out of the air while not looking, and the Leafs scored a goal while the Flyers had 3 guys with no sticks. Peaceful. It was a peaceful win. Wasn't normal. Are you surprised the Leafs could win this game without defenseman Mitch Marner? Well, they've won games without Mitch. That's pretty good. Couple quick notes before we finish up. From NHL PR, Austin Matthews scored his 25th road goal of the season and became the only player in Maple Leafs history to record multiple campaigns with 25 tallies as a visitor. Also had 28 in the 21-22 season. And this is awesome. Ilya Samsonov made 26 saves and helped the Maple Leafs improve to 27-6 as visitors this season. Toronto's .697 point percentage on the road is second best in the NHL, behind only Florida, .735. Of course it's Florida! They're second in the NHL and second in their division. Life is pain. It's endless pain. They also added Samsonov snags 7th straight road win. Ilya Samsonov wins his 7th straight road game and tied the longest run in Maple Leafs history. Jack Campbell in the 2020-21 season, that was the Canada season. Frederik Andersen in 18-19. Johnny Bower in 60-61 and Turk Broda in 40-41 also share the mark. Sammy, he's looking great, man. I'm loving it. Fun little fact, next time the Leafs play is this Saturday, March 16th against the Carolina Hurricanes. After that, March 19th, they're back in Philadelphia taking on this Flyers team, and John Tortorella will be back from his suspension. That ought to be fun. I feel like they might remember this game. It's gonna be spicy. But for now, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you liked this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. No, I'm not leaving. You go. You go ahead. I'm not leaving.